So then we are back with more understanding from the time of the Second Tabernacle services, where we find in the Aramaic English translation of the word. This translation comes from the original manuscripts of the prophets of the Itzaelic lineage. So then you can understand the time of the end as per the Yeshayahu the prophet. We find in the layer of understanding of the 61st chapter, where then the 61st chapter relates with the completion of the spring feast, and also sections of the autumn feast and the restoration of the cities of the Messiah laid waste for many centuries. So then, understanding the Daniel, the 11th chapter, relates in a specific way regarding then the relationship of the first, second, and third kingdoms. Then the northern kingdom is already showing signs of lining up with what the Messiah has said regarding freighting. Came out the news today from Moscow related then with the problems at the city and the crisis coming in the near future. So then, understanding from this viewpoint, there are areas of also related with the cheaper oil that could then drop in other prices, and then obviously would have more people coming, tourists, to the city. So it's a very interesting article because relates then with the problems of the city, and then there is a second section related with the industrious zones where there is also crisis. And he mentioned a very interesting point. He said, however, that some of them were being developed. The former Zeal heavy-duty truck factory, where investors were taking then a light-duty production of trucks project with partnership with Sberbank, for example. Then it is already showing signs of then the northern kingdom must then start taking action as far as the holy plan related with then the northern kingdom. This must be very clear because the Soviet Union, if they are smart, they must make a deal with China, and then already receiving then the title of management, because these are signs of then the lining up of the freighting system in the very near future. So then we find the Soviet Union has obviously oil and gas providing China, because they are always searching for more energy. Then they receive the title of management from China, where then they filter through the projects around the world. Those interested in having products built in China would go through then the Soviet Union, and then the Soviet Union investing also in Africa, and relates with the freighting trucks, heavy-duty trucks, then mining. So the situation is lining up very nicely for the Soviet Union if they are smart, if they understand the holy instructions and the solid understanding of this principle of the 11th chapter. Because the 11th chapter simply gives the understanding of the base of the statute during the time of the restoration period related with the Gentile level, where then the Soviet Union has a relationship with Africa. Obviously Mr. Putin, Mr. Zuma. So it was then a specific made for this particular reason. China, however, is related a couple of chapters later, where you find the Apocrypha, the extra writings of Daniel, where you find then the dragon and Baal. Baalian system is any other than the dragon. So it shows you then the dragon being separated but not isolated, simply protected from the Baalian system. Because China understands, because in the future there is the retrieval of the US monetary system, the Eurozone is going to be broken, Because the prophet already said, nations will try to come together under their own system. From then Nimrod started, Babylonian system from Baal, and it's not going to work. And the Chinese market never likes ups and downs. So to get rid of this understanding of the Balian system, then they hire the Northern Kingdom. That's where then the Northern Kingdom starts taking steps of then helping Africa, developing Africa via Mr. Zuma, and providing them with those very trucks they are having a project on. So it is absolutely amazing the sequence of understandings coming precisely in line with the future freighting. So then we must then wait for the wisdom of Mr. Putin and make sure he makes the proper decisions, because thus far the instructions shows us precisely that his kingdom and the southern kingdom having a relationship, and he is the leader of the BRICS. So if he understands this principle, he can take on the leadership understanding he will then be victorious. So then let's wait for the new developments, but thus far it's in line and absolutely geared towards freighting. So very exciting reading the whole instructions and learning more. Please stay tuned.